At the age of 25, I was living the wildest adventure of my life as a ski bum in Aspen, Colorado. Every day I skied the best mountain in the world, my blue designer one piece. And at après-ski, my friends and I would drink magnums of pink champagne in the St. Regis hot tubs. And then at night, we would snowmobile up the back side of Aspen Mountain to the very top by moonlight. And I was so in love with Aspen. But there was this constant voice in the back of my head. Go achieve yourself. Go achieve yourself. And at night at my waitress job, I had been scribbling notes in my notebook in the wine room on my breaks for this new idea that I had. And this new idea was for a new product. It was actually an underwear product that was to be for every woman in the world. And this underwear was called Save the Day Lingerie. And I knew that I had to leave Aspen to go catch my dream. And so with some of the hottest, fattest tears I've ever cried, I packed up my Jeep and I saluted that mountain. And I drove straight out of Aspen to New York City. More specifically, I drove to the corner of 7 and B in the East Village, where my friend Denise let me live in her dark, cold basement apartment in the hallway on a futon with my mother's sewing machine. And I was so scared, and I was so alone. And I just remember sitting under the covers at night, like grabbing my own hand, holding myself so tightly because I had no idea at all what I was doing. I just knew that I was going to do this. And I did. Over the next couple of years, I marched myself and my big idea into these huge corporate boardrooms that I had never seen before. And I got these CEOs and presidents to sign my non-disclosure agreements. And I had meetings about fabric in the meatpacking district. And I had meetings about lace in the deep, deep Bronx. And I got a working prototype made at a factory in Brooklyn that was right next to a shop that was selling live goats on the sidewalk. And I got logos made, and I got trademarks filed, and I actually wrote and filed a utility patent. And ultimately, I licensed my product to the largest licensee of intimate apparel in the United States. And we were in all the stores and all the magazines. And when I debuted my secondary product line live on QVC in front of millions of people at 7 in the morning, and I sold out in 7 minutes, I was like, yep, I have achieved myself. And then, one very dark, freezing cold night in the West Village, I was in an Irish bar, and I got a call from my friend, and I couldn't make out what she was saying, so I went out to that frozen sidewalk, and that's when I heard her say, "It's not there. It's not there." And does anyone know that feeling of, that lightning bolt of fear that can slice right through you in a second? That lightning bolt sliced me in half. And I knew intuitively in that moment that my dream had been shattered. And there were multiple attorneys involved. And I did not have millions of dollars to defend myself, and so the bigger evil guy did win. And all of that radiant, glittery entrepreneurial zest just got sucked up into a vacuum, and it wasn't ever coming out. So when my buddy called and said, "Hey, I got a job for you. I'll fix this. I'm working for a startup in a one-car garage, and we're selling this hot water pump, and it saves water and energy, and there's no salary, no benefits." I was like, "Yep, sign me up." Because I had nothing else to lose at that point. But the biggest irony of this job was that here I was selling this hot water pump thing in rat-infested boiler rooms in some of the very same skyscrapers where not too long before I was on the 53rd floor making big lingerie deals. But I kind of like this thing called energy efficiency. And so after I quit that pump job, I had many different jobs in the energy industry trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do. And just as I was about to attain that sense of achievement again, bam, I got laid off with a private equity merger. And 2 weeks later, my long-term relationship ended. And there was that lightning bolt again. But this time, at the same time, I felt this positive, powerful white light, and it was coming directly from the west. And it was Colorado beckoning me to come back to my life. And so I answered that call, and I got a great job back here in Boulder, Colorado, a global renewable energy job. And I was the luckiest girl in the world to drive to Aspen every single weekend to go see my friends that had never left. But the thing is about being an entrepreneur is that it never, ever goes away. It can be sucked up in that vacuum for years, but it's always taunting you from the sidelines to get back in the game and go achieve yourself. So, at the beginning of COVID, I did launch my next new idea. But I promise you all, it has nothing to do with underwear in New York City and everything to do with clean energy right back where it first began in Aspen, Colorado. Thank you.